Yes, good morning to everybody. Namaskar. Welcome to the All India Bar Examination. It is the 16th court, 2021. Very, very morning. That's up. And please read what I posted on the screen. Yes, unmute and please read what I posted on the screen. Please unmute and read what I posted on the screen.
Sir, I'm ready.
Yes, please read.
Let me read it, sir. This screen is actually coming away. I don't know why it is. Something is wrong.
Can you able to read?
1 minute, sir. There is some.
Can I magnify it? Anyone? Sanjay Rani is present. Yes, you can read also. So that you could give the confirmation to me that I am with you and you are with me. Please go ahead. Yes.
Morning in your life right now. It has no power to keep you from having an amazingly good future if you will walk by faith in God. God loves you. He wants you to live with victory over sin so you can possess his promises for your life today. Sir.
Jaise Mayer. It is said by
Yes,
Jaise Mayer. So if you believe in the God, and I'm sure that you will be successful if you are a optimistic and the faith in the God. That's the whole idea behind it. Now let us come to our point of our study is law relating to taxation. That is All India Bar Examination, 16th Court, 2021. The first question goes in this manner. The Income Tax Act is a comprehensive statute that focuses on the different rules and regulations that govern taxation in the country. It provides for levying, administering, collecting and recovering income tax for the Indian government. It was enacted in 1961. The Income Tax Act contains a total of dash and dash according to the official website of the Income Tax Department of India. That means how many chapters are there and how many sections are there as per the Income Tax Department of India in the Income Tax Act of 1961. Yes, give me the answer. A. 22 chapters, 298 sections. B. 23 chapter 298 section. C. 24 chapter 298 section. D. 23 chapters 297 sections. The answer is B. That is 23 chapters and 298 sections. I repeat, 23 chapters and 298 sections. These are there in the Income Tax of 1961. The second question goes in this manner. These different sections deal with the various aspects of taxation in India. The various heads of which you have to pay income tax include what are the head of the income where you have to pay the income tax. Number one, that is A, salary, income from the house property. B, capital gains, profits and gain for the business or profession. C, income from other sources. D, all of the above.
All of the above.
D, sir, all of the above.
It is the right. You are right, both of you. It is the all of the above because the income sources of income tax is the salaries, income from the house property, capital gains, profits and gains from the business or profession, or income from the other sources. The third question, broadly, income has been divided into categories. How many categories income is divided? A, income from salaries, obvious. Income from the house property, the same thing which you put it there above. B, profits and gain of the business or profession, that is true. C, capital gains, income from other sources, including the dividends, interest from the securities, interest, income and income from the winning of lotteries. D, all of the above.
Yes, all of the above, sir.
Again, the answer is all of the above. Now the question comes is there, whether gratuity is taxable. Yes.
Gratuity is not taxable, sir.
But in other country, every income you gained is your income. Definition. Hence, gratuity is taxable. Definition.
In our
You see the
India,
definition. Every income generated by you is the income that would be the taxable. So hence, gratuity also that is generated by you, and hence it should be taxable in some of the countries, not all of the countries. Of course, India had an exemption.
however, to India,
But
sir,
pension is taxable.
taxable.
Yes, yes.
Pension,
If you limit,
pension,
you would exceed the limit. Yeah. Yes, sir.
gratuity also taxable.
Gratuity, I doubt. No, I don't believe that in
No, I
India it
doubt,
is a
sir,
taxable.
because I did that when I take it started. Gratuity
Okay.
was not taken into account.
Okay. Because gratuity is given at the, it is like a solace. But how it can
No.
be taxable?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, that is a debatable question, would be there from the country to country, because the country's law of the income, I mean, the taxation varies like land laws. So let us see the fourth question. Dash, who was the India first finance member who presented the first time Income Tax Act 1961? A. James Fitzgerald. B. James William. C. James Wilson. D. James Winston. Who is the person who first introduced?
Sir, James Wilson.
It is James Wilson is the person. Right answer, Sandhya. It is who was the first finance member who presented the first time Income Tax Act of 1961. Next, the Income Tax Act 1961 is A. Subject to correction and confirmation by the department. B. Subject to verification and correction by the department. C. Subject to verification and confirmation by the department. D. Subject to classification and confirmation by the department. See, there is a variation in the wordings. Please note the point.
Sir.
The answer is
B. Subject to verification and the correction of the department.
the C is the right answer. Subject to verification and confirmation by the department. Not correction by the department. Confirmation by the department.
Confirmation.
So C is the right answer. Subject to the verification and confirmation by the department is the right answer for that regard. Yes, sixth question. Can anyone read?
Next question is chapter 4. Computation of total income. Heads of income, which is exact sequence enumerated under Income Tax Act 1961.
Yes, the sequence I want. Head of income, which is the exact sequence enumerated in the Income Tax Act. There I made income from the house property, salaries, next omitted, profits and gains of the business profession, capital gains, income from other sources. Sequence I am speaking about. So B, again I have given salaries, omitted, income from the house property, profits and gains of the business or profession, income from other sources, capital gains. C, again I mean salaries, omitted, income from the house property, profits and gains of the business and profession, capital gains, income from the other sources. The D, salaries, omitted, income from the others, income from the house property, capital gains, income from the other sources, profits and gains of business or profession. Which is the right sequence? Answer is C. See, the feedback is given is salaries, then the B is omitted, then income from the house property, and the D, profits and gains of business or profession, and the E, capital gains, and F, income from the other sources. So these are the things which is clearly mentioned. If we happen to see the Bear Act also, the sequence is goes like this.
Why omitted, sir?
Yeah, the B is, I don't know why that is, they omitted it. The B they omitted, especially in one of the amendment they omitted it. Means, what is that? Even I even myself also did not know, because what is omitted over there? Because salaries we know it. That, income of the house property we can know it. Profits and gains and business profession we know it. And capital gains we know it. Income from the other sources we know it. But what is missing, I don't know, which is omitted over there, what they said. But anyway, the sequence goes in this manner. Next, who is the father of the GST? Answer here given is a single common good and service tax GST. Goods, sorry, not good. Goods and service tax GST was proposed and given a go ahead in 1999 during the meeting between the Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee and his economic advisory panel, which included 3 former RBI governors. And there are IG Patel, Urjit Patel, and C. Rangarajan. The D. Subbarao, Bimal Jalan, and C. Rangarajan. C. IG Patel, Bimal Jalan, and Raghuram Jarajan. The D. IG Patel, Bimal Jalan, and C. Rangarajan. Who are the 3 RBI members? Governors, former governors. Answer is IG Patel, Bimal Jalan, and C. Rangarajan. With the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, these are the people who is the father of the GST. What is GST?
General
Goods and
service.
sales tax.
Goods and service tax.
Tax.
Goods and
Service
service tax, please. And rupee is currency. Currency.
Read the sequence, sir.
Which sequence?
Answer. Kind.
Which one?
This is who has proposed GST.
Yes, that is Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The Prime Minister at the time was there, and his economic advisory panel, and the 3 members formed by RBI governors are there, and 3 members are, which I said is IG Patel, Bimal Jalan, and C. Rangarajan. These are the RBI governors, former governors with Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and they made this goods and service tax GST, and they are said to be the father of the GST. That next, the council headed by the Union Finance Minister Dash assisted with the Finance Minister of all the states of India. The GST Council is responsible for any revision or enactment of rule or any rate changes of the goods and services in India. Who is the Finance Minister at the time and who assisted with the Finance Minister for all the states in India? Nirmala Sitaraman and Nirjala Sitaraman or Nirmala Sitaraman or Nirmalakar Sitaraman.
See, sir, Nirmala Sitaraman.
It is the Nirmala Sitaraman, and she is the assisted with the Finance Minister for GST counseling, responsible for the revision or enactment of the rules, any rate changes, the goods and services in India. Yes, the 9th question goes in this manner. The GST is imposed at every step in the production process, but is meant to be refunded to all the parties in the various stages of the production other than the final consumer as a destination-based tax. It is collected from the point of consumption and dash previous taxes. What is this dash? Not a point of origin like, not point of origin like, not point of origin like or any other, or not all points of origin alike. Which is appropriate?
Not point of origin like or any.
Not point of origin like is the right answer for there. The previous taxes. That is the right answer where you have to fill up the blank. Good.
Not point of origin. Okay.
Yes, you are right. The Income Tax Act 1961 is a comprehensive statute that focuses on the different rules and regulations that govern the taxation in the country. It provides for dash income tax for the Indian government. It was enacted in 1961. So what is the dash? It provides for dash income tax for the Indian government. So here dash means administering, levying, collecting and recovering. B. Levying, collecting, administering and recovering. C. Levying, administering, collecting and recovering. D. Levying, administering, recovering and collecting. Which is the appropriate answer? Sequence. See the sequence.
C, sir.
C. First levying. Levy the tax and administer it and collect it and recover it. When you recover it, when you don't, that fellow will pay you, then you can want to recover it from him. So that is the sequence over there. First levy, next administering, next collecting, and the last one is recovering if he could not pay it. Yes. Income Tax Rules 1962. Income Tax Act of 1961. So which came first?
Action.
It is the act which came first.
61.
The rules which came in the 1962. So income tax rules are effective from the 1st April 1962.
62.
The Central Board of Director Taxes CBDT has the power to amend the income tax rules. For example, dash of the Income Tax Act states that the house rent allowances can be exempted up to certain limit, which section says in the Income Tax Act of 1961. House rent allowances. It is the answer is section 10 and 13 capital A and subsection 1. That is the answer for that question where the house rent allowances can be exempted up to certain limit. Next, 12th question. Can anyone read?
Chapter 12, capital A, annuity deposits. How many sections are omitted?
Yes. There the chapter, especially 22A, annuity deposit, there are so many sections are omitted. How many are there? It is 24 sections are omitted. See, feedback I have given. 280A, 280B, 280C, 280D capital, 280E, 280F capital, 280G capital, 280H up to the L, then 280M is omitted again, then it has come to the 280X, capital X, these are the sections omitted. So total sections, if you count it, they are 24 in number. That is the annuity deposit in 22A chapter, it was omitted. Next, 13th question. Dash of the Constitution of India provides that no tax shall be levied or collected except by the authority of law. Therefore, no tax can be levied or collected in India unless it is explicitly and clearly authorized by way of legislation. Which article says under the Constitution of India?
Article 265, sir.
It is the right answer, Dr. Saab, I appreciate. It is that Article 265, which is clearly mentioned when you want to levy it, you should be there in the Constitution. The authority for the advance ruling, AAR, acronym. The authority for the advance ruling, their acronym is AAR capital, constituted under the Income Tax Act 1961, is authorized to determine any question of law or facts in relation to transactions which have been undertaken or proposed to be undertaken by a non-resident. The AAR acronym is required to make an advance ruling within a period of dash. The advance ruling of the AAR is the binding on the Commission of the Income Tax and other subordinate income tax authorities and continues to be enforced unless there is a change in law or in the facts on the basis of it was pronounced. So what is the duration period within the advance of the ruling within the period of, so the answer would be 6 months duration that is given over there. So later on, they will take an action. Yes, 15th question. Chapter 22, capital B. Tax credit certificates. How many sections are omitted there? In chapter 22B, tax credit certificates, there are so many sections are omitted. So the answer is 7 sections are omitted. What are the 7 which I have given over here? 280 capital Y, 280 capital Z, 280 capital ZA, 280 capital ZB, 280 capital ZC, 280 capital ZD, 280 capital ZE. These are the things which are omitted over there. 16th question. Interpretation of double taxation avoidance agreements. The principles set out in the Vienna Convention as agreed on 23rd May 1969 are recognized as applicable to tax treaties. Rules embodied in dash of the conventions are often referred to as an interpretation of the tax treaties. Some aspects of those articles are good faith, objects, and purpose and intent to enter into the treaty. Discussion papers are referred to resolve the ambiguity of or obscurity. These basic principles need to be kept in mind while construing the DTAA, that is the double taxation avoidance agreement. So, which article will say regarding the Vienna Convention?
See, sir,
Because in the
Article
treaties,
31, 32, and 33.
in the treaties also we can say articles. In the Constitution also we
Yes,
can
sir.
say the articles. So, article here is 31, 32,
See, sir.
and 33. These are the
Yes,
articles
sir.
would be there which gives the sense to it. Now the question comes over there. Again, can a person who is earning in the Tanzania and paying the tax over there should have to supposed to pay tax in India?
No, sir.
Why?
Yes, sir. Because already tax was deducted.
It's a double taxation. Already we paid in some one of the country. Whatever that amount will be sent to the India is not taxable because already it is deducted over there.
Deducted at one place.
Yes. Then seventh question. In dash, the Supreme Court held a statute which not only changes the procedure but also creates a new rights and liabilities shall be construed to be the prospective in operation unless otherwise provided, either expressly or by lesser implications, and in addition to the above, other four guidelines are also passed under this case law. What is the case law? Where whenever a statute is made, whether it should be retrospective or prospective or retroactive, and that should be specifically given over there in the guidelines. So that is happening in one of the case law, the famous case law, that is Hitendra Vishnu Thakur versus State of Maharashtra, where the Supreme Court made such a guidelines, four guidelines passed under this case law. So generally, whenever the criminal statutes are, amended or enacted, does it have the retrospective effect or does it have the prospective effect?
It depends on the legislature passing, sir. If it is says that
In general,
prospective,
criminal statutes should not be retrospective.
prospective, sir.
It should be prospective. But other things, unless until it is specifically mentioned over there,
Yes, sir.
then it can be retrospective.
Yes,
Now
sir.
the 18th question. The presumption against the retrospective operation is not applicable to the declarative statutes. See, they clearly mention the presumption against the retrospective operation is not applicable to the declarative statutes. In determining the nature of the act, regard must be had to be the substance rather than to the form. If a new act is to explain on an earlier act, it could be without object unless construed retrospectively. An explanatory act is generally passed to supply an obvious omission or to clear up the doubts on the meaning of the previous act. It is well settled that if a statute is a curative or merely declaratory of the previous law, retrospective operation is generally intended. An amending act may be purely declaratory to clear a meaning of the provision of the principal act or which was already implicit. A classificatory amendment of this nature will have a retrospective effect. It is called as, now we will say, prospective, retroactive, retrospective, or mandatory.
This is a retrospective.
No, it is a retroactive. That is the point. A classificatory amendment of the nature will have a retrospective effect. It is called retroactive, means nothing but retrospective effect.
Retroactive means, sir?
It is nothing but retrospective effect. See, here clearly it is. The nature will have the retrospective effect. It is called as Retroactive means is a retrospective effect.
Right.
That is the actual. Prospective means from the date.
So the
Retrospective
in the
means
present.
from the back. Even the
Back.
retroactive also from the back. Of
Right,
course,
right.
mandatory it is a must, a mandatory obligation. That is not the right. So the right answer is retroactive. That is the which will be clearly mentioned over there. Now let us see the how many schedules are there in Income Tax Act 1961. How many schedules are there? 14 schedules including 6 schedule is omitted. 14 schedule excluding 6 schedule is omitted. 15 schedules including the 6 schedule is omitted. 15 schedule excluding the 6 schedule is omitted. The answer is 14 schedules including 6 schedule is omitted. Here it is given feedback. The first schedule, second schedule, third schedule, fourth schedule, fifth schedule, the sixth schedule omitted. The seventh schedule, then total there are 14 schedules are there and 13 schedule. So these are the schedules would be there where it is clearly mentioned. Yes, read the 20th question.
Previous year defined under the Income Tax Act in 61 under dash.
Yes.
Pre-
Where do you say previous year?
uh,
See, financial year is different and previous year is different. Do you agree?
Section 3, sir. DA.
It is the section 3 which deals about the previous year. And why
Yes, sir.
FY? What is meant by FY?
FY.
Financial year.
Financial year, that is.
Financial year. FY,
Yes,
sir.
yes. Now the 21st question. Notice of demand. When any tax interest, penalty, fine or any other sum is payable in consequence of any order passed under this act, the assessing officer shall shall serve upon the assessee a notice of demand in the prescribed form specifying the sum to be payable by virtue of section of the Income Tax Act of 1961. Which section says?
Section 158.
No, it is section 156, which
Six, sir.
clearly says that where the assessing officer will make the assessee a notice of demand in the prescribed form specifying the sum to be payable by virtue of the section 156 of the Income Tax Act of 1961. Yes, anyone can read 22nd question.
The block period means the period comprising previous years relevant to 6 assessment years preceding the previous years in which the search was conducted under section 132 of any requisition was paid under section 132 capital A
Good.
and also include the period up to the date of the commencement of such or date such requisition in the previous year in which the said search was conducted or requisition was made as per the dash.
Which section says? Regarding the black period I am speaking about, the preceding 6 years would be there. As per the
It
section
is
132.
158B, yes, sir.
It is the section 158 capital B,
Capital
clause
B,
A.
sorry, sir, capital B, A.
It is the section 158 capital B, clause A is the right answer.
Yes,
Next,
sir.
23rd question.
I-
Legal representatives. Where a person dies, his legal representative shall be liable to pay any sum which the deceased would have been liable to pay if he had not died. In the like manner and to the same extent as the deceased as per the dash of the Income Tax Act 1961. Section 159, subsection 1, or section 159, subsection 2, or section 159, subsection 3, or section 159, subsection 4. The answer is section 159, subsection 1 clearly dies over there. If an assessee dies, the legal representative should have to pay. Because when they are enjoying the booty, they are supposed to pay the liability also. So now the Income Tax Act 1961, Act number of dash of 1961. What is the Act number?
43, sir.
It is the 43 Act number. One should have to remember. Sometimes a easy question may be asked in that year, and what is the Act number would be there in the 1961. Yes, that last question is 25th question. The Income Tax Act 1961 shall come into force on the, already I did it in the above questions. In somewhere I made the supplement. When it is come into force?
First day of April 1961.
Yes, no, it is the
Yes.
first day of April 1962 when it came to the force. Because it come to the force at that instance only when track is laid down. What is the track? Yes?
Yes. The implementation of it starts from that date.
I say engine and bogie is the act. But the track is the procedure to be followed over there. Rules and regulations to be followed over there. That is the procedure laws. Unless the track is there, the engine and bogie will not fly. Are you following me? So there is the rules and regulations. Implementation should be there over there. That again be passed by the central government. Then only that act will to come into the force. That is the first day of April 1962. So these are the things which I want to share with you. And regarding our 19 courses, as I told you, and for every thing, the status is tick mark. I put it now because we have dealt successfully as far as possible that 19 subjects or courses which are going to be asked in the All India Bar examination, that is the cohort 16th of 2021. I don't know, because of the second wave is like that, and I heard the third wave is, especially the victims are minors or children. So I don't know what will happen to the fate of it, because the old people like us, of course, we enjoyed the life, so we don't have any desire at all. But a budding birds, and they are going to become a backbone of this nation, and how the country will save it, and how we, the citizen of India, being responsible for it, how much we can contribute it, though not financially, at least for the moral basis, one should have to give us such a counseling. That is very much important factor in this juncture of the surging COVID-19, which is on spike now, and the things would be there and how it can be tackled. So that is the 19th that we successfully completed it. Then these are the Income Tax Act 1961 that I already told you. There is a asterisk mark is there at the left hand side. I don't know whether you observed it or not. Did you observe it?
Yes, observed, sir.
What do you say that? What do you say that? That symbol? What do you say such a symbol?
Footnote will be there, sir.
No. I say symbol name. Just before I told you. Asterisk.
Asterisk.
It is not a star. Please note the star is different and asterisk is different. See, in asterisk it is given, see here down to the footnote. Subject to verification and confirmation by the department. They have clearly mentioned. Subject to the verification and confirmation by the department. So that is they clearly mentioned here or there in the Tax Act of 1961. So this is the bare act which I already posted to you, because so that you could have an idea and how it can be done. So now I would like to say thank you, and for your patient listening. And before you could depart ourselves, if you want to ask anything, you can ask me. But note that every talk of ours is recorded and it is uploaded in the YouTube link. Yes, now you speak.
So thank you very much, sir.
Thank
You
you.
made us to. Thank
Very
you, sir.
good,
Sir,
very good.
have
Thank
you
very much,
uploaded?
sir. Otherwise,
Thank
I
you.
Have you
realized that
uploaded
you
till
have
now,
not
sir?
opened the book at all.
Yes,
Sir,
I uploaded.
have
As
you
soon as the class is over, as soon as
Sir.
my class is over,
in which group, sir?
immediately
Sir.
that same Muhammad
In
Sahib
which group?
Hussain and YouTube.
Sir.
And just you type my name and you write AIB or All India Bar
Oh.
Examination. Name and All India Bar Examination. And I'm sure that you will get that link.
Thank you for your
Yes,
endeavor,
total.
sir.
I made it as much as
So
I can
total will be
because,
there, sir.
yeah, total, because from 19, see, whatever the acts which we dealt, yeah, of course, some of the subjects, there are 3 acts are there. Like Negotiable Instrument Act is there, and Specific Relief Act is there, and the Law of Contract is there. See, some of them is made, and some I clubbed together, some I did separately. So in that way also that we deal it. So with this, I would like to say bye and have a good day. And if any time permits over there and the examination date is given, then we will refresh again so that
Thank you.
our efforts will not be futile and it becomes the fruitful. With this, I would like to stop it and have a good day and goodbye
Thank you. Thank you very
and
much,
bye.
sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you,
thank you.
sir.